from, some from homeschooling, some from private school. When I was in school, and I alternated between the homeschool and private school, regardless, every morning when I got up to go to school, we did the pledges to the American flag, Christian flag, and Bible, followed by prayer. There were advantages and disadvantages to being homeschooled versus private school. Homeschool, we had a schedule, but it was flexible according to my parents' schedule. We worked twice as hard as any of my friends, but had more free time. My first story is from when I was homeschooled. One of the biggest disadvantages to being homeschooled is that if you got in trouble, your parent was not only your parent, they were also the principal. So, double trouble. One day I got in trouble, but it wasn't my fault. I was in middle school age, and in that awkward stage where your parents think you are constantly getting dirty on purpose. Well, this particular day, my dad calls me to the front of our schoolroom and asks me to show him my arms. He tells me they are dirty and that I better get to the bathroom and wash them good. So I did what he said. I truly did. I come back and he looks at my arms and gets really mad. He told me that I was purposely disobeying him and sent me back to the bathroom to wash my arms again, but warned me if I didn't come back with clean arms, I was going to be in trouble. I scrubbed my arms so hard because I knew by trouble that I did not want a sore behind. When I came back, he looked at my arms again and said that that was it, and he retrieved the paddle. Tears followed. My mom came to bring us a snack, and my dad tells her what happened, why I'm crying, etc. My mom looks at my arms and very calmly says, "Gary, that is not dirt, that is freckles." I have never let my dad live that down. We can laugh about it now, but I was not very happy at that time. Going to private school had its advantages as well. When I was younger, I rode the bus, got to meet new people, went on field trips. In high school, I got to play sports, take specialty classes like home ec that my parents would not have taught, and some other things. There was always a dress code. Different schools have different ones. Some required uniforms, but all required girls to wear dresses. There was no other option. Biggest disadvantage for me in high school was that my parents decided they were going to teach at that school. So I had to be good. I only got in trouble once, but that's not the story I'm going to tell today. This story is from when I was in kindergarten. At that time, I rode the bus to school, and my parents did not teach at that school. I was short. You know, some things never change. But I was so short that when I returned to the same school 9 years later, my fellow classmates that were still at the school remembered me as the shortest kid in the classroom. This particular day, I got off the bus, just like I did every other day, and on the way to the school doors, I dropped my lunchbox. The bus drove off, and all the other kids got off the bus and went into the school. We did not have teachers watching every entrance like we do today. There were no video surveillance systems monitoring our coming and going. I picked up my lunch, went to the school doors, but I was too short to open them. Not knowing what to do, according to my parents, I set off to walk home. Mind you, the school that I went to was 45 minutes by car. I lived in the country, the school was in the city, but I just took off in the city of Nanticoke, Pennsylvania, and started walking. One of the parishioners in my dad's church at the time saw me wandering the streets and stopped. They called my parents, and my dad came back, got me, took me to school. I have no recollection of this event, but I know I'm the reason they started having teachers monitor the doors at that school going forward. The biggest change for me going through school was computers. When I was in elementary and middle school, we did not use computers at all. I don't even think we owned a computer at my home until I was in high school. When we did get a computer, it was only for typing. We had a couple of games, very, very basic games. It did not connect to the internet, and once connecting to the internet became an option, it was AOL dial-up. And you could only be connected if no one was on the phone. But that didn't even really start until my senior year of high school, at least in my house. In school, I learned to type on a typewriter, and all my school papers were done on that. Research was done in the library and not on the computer. My senior year of high school, I had the privilege of getting to learn computer on a very old computer. The computer was probably almost the size of one of these tables. The computer screen was this big, and the keyboard was like this big. The rest of it was just the computer. The discs for it were this big. The common format of the discs was either a range between 360 kilobytes to 1.2 megabytes. I did the math to figure out it would have taken between 11,000 to 45,000 of these to equal what's on my phone today. When we finally did get a computer in our home, our computer looked like this. And the discs were 3x5s, and they were called floppy disks, but they were hard. They're not bendable, nothing floppy about them. I did the research on this one. The common format was about 1.4 megabytes of storage, and it would have taken about 11,000 of these to equal what's in my phone today. The computer and I can do everything I could do on my current phone that I could have done on my computer and more in 1994. Even in college, computers were not as powerful today as the weakest phone that my children own. But the change in technology has gotten to be one of the biggest changes I have seen in schools. Today, all 3 of my kids have computers issued to them by the school. They can connect anywhere that they can get a wireless connection. They do not have to go to the library for research, and if they make a mistake typing, there is no need for whiteout.